All right, hi guys. So we talked about the probability. We talked about that there are two types of probability. There's theoretical probability, which is what we expect to happen. It's what we, anticipate in theory is going to occur. And then we also have experimental probability, which is when you actually do some experiments and maybe you grab a marble out of the bag and see what color it is. Maybe you roll that dice and see what number you land on. Maybe you flip that coin and see what side it lands on. So there's theoretical, which is what you expect to happen, versus experimental, which is what happens when you actually experiment with the chances of an event occurring. Okay, but some key points that I want you to remember about probability. First off, probability is always written as a ratio. It's a comparison of two events. Okay. Something else to always remember about probability. Okay. Because it's a ratio, it can be written in fraction form. It can be written as a decimal, or it can be written as a percentage of something, okay? Because it can be written as a fraction, a decimal, or a percentage, okay, you always want to remember that a probability will always be between the values of 0 and 1, okay? Always between 0 and 1, all right? So for instance, if there's a 30% chance of rain, that means there's a 0.3% chance of rain. Sorry, 0.3. There's a 0.3 as a decimal chance of rain, and then that also means there's a 3 out of 10 chance of rain. Okay, they can be written either way: percent, decimal, fraction, any which way. Okay, so it's always between 0 and 1. Okay. So if we were talking about theoretical probability, that one's pretty easy to find because you're not actually doing any work for it. Okay, so theoretical probability is what we expect Okay, so it's a ratio. It compares the two events, the one that we're looking for over top the total number of events that could potentially occur. It can be written in fraction, decimal, or as a percentage. And theoretical probability is what we expect to happen. So if you are rolling a coin or flipping a coin, how many or what are the chances of it getting tails? And experimental probability, what actually happens. So if you were to actually do those trials and figure out what actually happened, it would be experimental probability if you found it out of the trials. Okay, so just important things to remember about probability.